Hi there everyone, it's Catie Kirke from Down Under. Yes, all the way from Down Under in beautiful Darwin, Australia. And if you don't know Australia very well, Darwin is right at the top, right in the tropics. And I'm really excited to be here with you today to share with you, connect with you and be a part of the global sisterhood. What an incredible, inspiring group of women, connecting, learning, sharing and giving to each other. And it's a real privilege to be here to share with you some of our Art Your Life content and some key learnings so that you can be mindful in everything that you do and create even more of a life that you love. I've also written an article for you to read and done an interview with the beautiful Lisa McGilvray. So make sure you check in on those. And at the end, I'm going to go for about 15 minutes, so grab a pen and a paper. And at the end, I'm going to share with you a bonus gift offer for you so that you can download something to continue some learnings and to continue to connect with us. So without further ado, for at least 3.5 years now, I've been working full-time with women in my Art Your Life program. The ART stands for Activate, Reshape and Transform, and its underpinning philosophy is that that's from the inside out, and it's based on my very real and strong belief that what walks in the mother runs in the child. Now, whether you've got children or not, that's actually irrelevant because it's the metaphor or the analogy that is about what walks in us as a generation of women right now is going to run in our next generation. Whether we're parenting or whether we're influencing in the workplace or whether we're a role model to a friend's children, whatever it is. And you see, the key is that if we walk with poor self-esteem, lack of confidence, not allowing ourselves to shine, of worrying about what other people think or what we think other people think about us, of worrying about the size of our bum, of obsessing about our shape and our body image, and of weighing our self-esteem on a set of scales, and really not wanting to age beautifully, then we really are setting our next generation up for a pretty rocky ride. And I have a very beautiful 21-year-old daughter, and I can promise you that I am so passionate about helping to make a difference for our next generation because I so desire for my daughter and my grandchildren, that's a quick tip for her, and my grandchildren, to be running in life with self-respect, with confidence, with self-love, with self-value and a real sense of self-worth, and that they are each worth so much more than the outside image or what they think other people think of them. So with the Art Your Life women that I have worked with over the last 3.5 years, we've now done thousands and thousands of hours of coaching. And it's almost like we see and hear women in code now. The master coaches in the Art Your Life program that's very structured, we're finally in tune with women. And a couple of the key topics that we certainly cover and teach is, well, the main theme is how to love yourself, your body and your life. But of course, there's a whole lot of layers to that. So not only is it learning about functional exercise that all women's bodies should do for functionality from the core to the extremities, it's also about nutrition and eating without being in body jail. Have you ever been in body jail when no matter what you eat, you just feel guilty and crap because food has for generations, or particularly our generation, been labelled as good or bad. Or if you eat that bad food, then that just means you're bad. And then the next one is relationships. We very much focus on relationships and masculine and feminine energy. But what I want to share with you today is something that we've recently been embedding into our program and into our coaching. And it's actually about mindfulness. Because we've been doing a lot of exploring about meditation and mindfulness. And this started from a personal journey, really, where having a startup business that's growing pretty damn fast, a bit like a rocket ship, really, and keeping up with it and keeping up with the hours and managing staff and technology, all of those things, I started to feel a little bit worse for wear. going, wow, I think maybe it's time to have some calm time. It's time to meditate. It's time to do a little bit of, well, hey, I tried. And even though I'm not particularly fond of that word, I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. Every time I'd meditate, my head would think faster and faster and faster and faster. I'd do the breathing, I'd be going, breathe, 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 and focus on the body part to breathe. It certainly wasn't working for me, and I know it works beautifully for some people. And also I'd be going, time, 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 I've got to do things, I've got to do things. So then I discovered something called mindfulness as opposed to meditation. You see, meditation's a focus inward, whereas mindfulness is about attention to, no matter what that is. So that aligns a little bit with an internal locus of control or an external locus of control. So mindfulness, I want you to imagine right now, close your eyes, and imagine right now that you're in the river of your life. You're treading water, you're feeling your emotions, you're thinking, because that's what this thing's job is. That's its job description, is to think, even when we're asleep, which is why we dream. And yet we kind of want to shut it down, and yet it's its job description. So it's going to fight against us, because it's going all the time. So I want you to imagine that here's this stream, you're in it. In here is your thinking, your feelings, your emotions, your actions, your inactions, your language, how you're speaking, how you're not, and of course your internal language. And we're in the stream, and all too often we're paddling like crazy underneath. We might seem all calm above, and put on that exterior that says, oh, I'm fine, how are you today? I'm fine, how's business? Good, and all of that. However, we can be paddling like crazy underneath. Now imagine that stream. Take yourself out of your stream, because you never really have control about where it's taking you. It's just taking over. And get out of the stream and sit on the bank. Now, how does that feel, and what are you seeing, and what are you hearing differently? So now, look at the stream, pay attention to the stream, and be mindful of what's happening in the stream. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And how are you feeling? What are you saying to yourself? Or what are you not saying to yourself? What are you choosing to focus on? And that is being mindful, is hopping out of our sometimes crazy stream and going, all right, what is actually in there? Because the moment you become more mindful and pay attention, it is where you go, okay, what is going on for me? I stop, I look, I feel, and then I act. So the act comes afterwards. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm going to the fridge and I start reaching for some food in the fridge, and then I start reaching for some more, and I start reaching for some more, and I start reaching for some more. And it's almost as if I'm not mindful of what I'm doing. Okay? It's almost as if something's taken over and it's just chomp, 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 chomp. And it's after I've overeaten that I go, oh, crap, why did I eat that? Why did I eat that much? Or let's go to another example. When a tone of sarcasm can slip into our voice, or a tone of nagging can slip into our voice when we're coming home to the kids or speaking to the partner or whatever it is, or to people we work with. Being mindful with both of those circumstances is actually being mindful just before and as it's happening. So being mindful about the choices that I'm making as I'm reaching into the fridge, going, okay, what am I doing? Is it working for me? Could I be doing it more resourcefully for me? Or if it's not working for me, what could I actually do instead? So it's that split nanosecond of awareness that helps you to change the direction of the ship. So it's really like driving your own bus, but let's call it sailing your own ship, for want of a better word. Not that I've ever sailed a ship, but hey, I probably haven't driven a bus either. So off we go, and let's take it to the language that we can have when we're speaking to people, walking inside the house, busy day, maybe the dishes haven't been done, and then all of a sudden that can come out of the voice, being actually mindful of going, oh, no, and then reframing how we're speaking, because we know that it's not going to create a great response. Anger gets an angry response. Gratitude gets an appreciative response. And love gets a loving response. So whatever we put out, we get. So when we're mindful and we change what we're putting out, we get differently, because as soon as we give differently, we get differently. And then, of course, that makes such a difference for ourselves. So being mindful, stop, look, and evaluate. And some key questions are, it's not just about what you're doing, it's what am I doing? Is it working for me or isn't it? If the answer is no, what could I actually do instead? If the answer is yes, it's working for me, because I'm really hungry right now and I'm reaching for the fridge, it could be, okay, could I be doing this any better? Yeah, Catie, how about you actually put it on a plate so that you're not just eating out of the fridge, yeah? The other one is it can be about the way we feel. So how am I feeling right now? Is it working for me or isn't it? Well, actually, I'm feeling like crap. I'm feeling really sad. All right, let's have a look at that feeling. Let's feel the feeling and explore it and be mindful of it and pay attention to it. Because what we repress becomes stress. And in this day and age, we've become so busy being busy and being happy that, man, so many people have got feelings just push down, push down, push down. And we can push them down with food, with overworking, with being over busy, with overthinking, with over-analysing, with over-drinking, with over-smoking, the whole thing with over-talking. So when we're mindful about what we're feeling, what am I actually feeling? Hey, hang on a minute. It's not about the feeling, it's about the message. So what is the message giving me? And what could I be doing differently, or thinking differently, or experiencing differently, or doing or saying differently so that I get a different feeling for me? And it's also about your thinking, because our language creates our feeling. So when our language is creating our feeling and our feeling creates our perception of the world around us, which is our reality, it's such a good idea to check in with what you're thinking, because often it can be that nagging little voice inside your head that I call the mini-me, that can be real nasty cow and can be very critical. So be mindful. Now, something else I'm going to share with you, and I trust that you've found that gold and you're now going to start practicing mindfulness more and more and more. The more you do it, the more of a habit it becomes. And it's a little bit different to meditation, because meditation, you have to sort of sit yourself aside and go meditate. Whereas with mindfulness, imagine now being 100% more mindful in everyday action with what you pay attention to each and every day. You will feel yourself, it's almost like when people want to be in control, they'll say, I want to control my feelings, or I want to feel in control, or I can't control myself. Mindfulness really is the way to think about control, because it's putting you in that driver's seat. Stop, hang on, okay, just for the nanosecond. Now I'm just going to share another interesting thing about mindfulness with you. A lot of the ladies who have done Art Your Life share about experiencing anxiousness and or anxiety. And the diagnoses for anxiety is increasing at a very, very rapid rate in the Western world. And I've always prided myself on being a brilliant multitasker, on a woman who can do 20 things at once, on a woman who can do 30 things at once. I've even bragged about it to staff and gone, that's okay, interrupt me. I could be doing something or reading something. I say, that's okay, interrupt me, ask me any question anytime. I can do 20 things at once. Brag, 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 brag. Well, when I had started to feel a bit stressed about the business, I realised it wasn't only stress. I was starting to feel really quite a lot of anxiety. And then with becoming more aware of mindfulness, I realised that, oh my gosh, I've probably been like that for most of my life. I've always been told I'm hyperactive. I've always been someone who does 20 things at once. And I've always had a very high level of energy. And so off I go, off I go, off I go, and do more and do more and do more, and multitask and multitask and multitask. But the more I multitasked, the more that anxiousness was creeping into my musculature, not from a chemical perspective, but my actual musculature. So all of my habits. So then it's like, well, why am I feeling stressed? Aha. Guess what? Multitasking is totally overrated. Because if I'm doing 20 things, bum, 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 all at once, I'm putting 10% focus here, 25% focus there, 15% focus here, and nothing quite gets completed. And it's time, 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 as opposed to going, aha, let me focus on this and let's finish that, or let's get that to the point where we're moving on. Now in staff meetings and with all of the Art Your Life team, we focus on it. Let's round that up. Okay, done. Okay, then we move on to the next thing. I trust that this beautiful topic of mindfulness has really given you some great strategies and some keys. I encourage you to read some more about it, research some more about it, or of course to connect with us here at Art Your Life. And talking about connecting with us here at Art Your Life, I promised you a gift and here it is. We've created a beautiful Kickstart kit. And in our Kickstart kit, we have not only we call it Welcome to Art Your Life, and I actually share with you some more great content on those live to camera recordings to help you understand you even more. It's absolutely gold. It will help you understand what you need, what motivates you, what doesn't, and really why you tick and why you talk. You see, I very much believe not only in that what walks in the mother runs in the child, or what walks in us runs in our next generation, but also the saying nosci te ipsum, knowing thyself. Nosci te ipsum is know thyself. The more self-awareness you have, it's actually 80% of change. The 20% is just the mechanics. It's being self-aware. Being self-aware is paying attention to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're doing, who you are, what your behaviour is, and what your personality is, what your imprint is, and what your default is. So that is one of the recordings that is an absolute gift for you. Also, I've done some real raw interviews with 5 gorgeous women who have done Art Your Life from all different ages, shapes, sizes, backgrounds, and different motivations to do the program. One of the women joined the program to get her daughter to join it. Who got the most out of it? Her daughter. She got the most out of it, not her daughter. Isn't that amazing? Another woman very much shares about how a very traumatic past event had really inhibited her and her self-worth and her relationships in life. And she shares with you beautifully and vulnerably her experience. And then another gorgeous lady called Julie, I call them all gorgeous, they're all gorgeous. Julie had a map about, an internal map about scarcity and money and not being worth being wealthy. Well, during and after the Art Your Life program, we pretty much messed with that. Yeah, I love messing with crappy old beliefs to help people move forward and catapult them forward. Well, in the 12 months after the Art Your Life program, she bought 3 investment properties and she's still buying investment properties. And all it was a shift in her belief. So there with the gift as well. And also I've recorded for you something about the 6 core needs, which is a great piece of work by Tony Robbins. And I've put our own flip on it, which is absolutely very female focused and very women focused. Yeah. Then the other piece that I've added in there for you is the 3 keys to having it all. You see, I believe you can have it all. I believe we as women can have it all. And I didn't believe that probably 4 years ago. I really didn't believe that. Life had had many, many hiccups and been there, done that with lack of self-worth, eating disorders, abusive behaviour, habits that were crap, being busted ass and broke, you name it. I could just about tick those. I can tick all of those off, actually. And I'm pretty sure that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I believe that we women can have it all and that it's up to us to believe that so that we can show our next generation self-respect, self-worth, wealth in the mindset of having an abundance of love, an abundance of contribution. So what I'd love you to do is in your search bar of your beautiful computer is simply type in Art Your Life, so ARTYOURLIFE, artyourlife.com.au/claim, CLAIM. And as soon as you do that, you're going to go to a page where our landing page where you can claim all of those beautiful bonus gifts. I would love to hear from you on our public Art Your Life Facebook page, and or please feel free to send me an email and connect and stay inspired and grow together and connect even more, because we women, we are game changers, and we women are where the tipping point is to change the world. So, hand on heart, much love to you all the way from Australia. Thank you so much for being with me today. Love to connect with you. And remember, what walks in the woman runs in the next generation. Have a beautiful day. Bye.